Yo. Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Jim Rosati. James, how are you doing today?
Let's just get this thing over with.
Nice hat, by the way.
Thank you.
I believe that team was much better than the Pirates today.
Yeah, the Pirates were playing worse than, their typical AAA affiliate today.
Yeah.
Really all month.
Just a pathetic game to basically like you're saying, to somewhat we're close to capping off the month, but I mean, this pretty much would cap it if so. Just bad. Pitching, defense, hitting, everything, just bad.
Everything was awful today. Rich Hill, that second inning of his was terrible. Cody Bolton comes in. When the Pirates actually did a somewhat decent job of trying to claw their way back into this thing, Cody Bolton comes in. They just, he had none of that. He was not going to have any part of a close game today. He ensured that this was a blowout.
Correct.
That's the type of outing. That's the type of outing that ends your major league career. To be honest, that type of outing.
Like as I jokingly said a couple times, the Cam View outing.
Yeah, and it's not even jokingly. A third of an inning, 38 pitches, you give up 8 runs.
Yeah,
he's probably gone tomorrow.
But at least he didn't throw 51 or whatever it was, and Shelton's got to feel bad that night. At least Shelton took him out semi-respectfully and said, okay, it's just 30-some pitches. Now you're coming out of the game. But you're right. I mean, there was this slim chance. I mean, you felt the way this game was going, the Pirates weren't going to catch up and tie it up or win. But at least there was a slim chance they were scoring a few runs afterwards. And Cody Bolton just said, see you later. Good night. Sayonara. This was just awful. Now, I feel like there's always some bright spots. Dale says Jack Swinsky's his player of the game. I'm not even going to give it. I don't know. I don't know if I can give it to Jack. I was going to say there's some bright spots. I like to call him Took. Had 3 hits. Now, we'll forget about that issue on the base paths. But he did have 3 hits. He had some good defense. That's kind of where it ends. Jack Sawinski did have 2 home runs. If you're talking player of the game, he did have 2 home runs. One was off of a position player. So it is what it is.
It was just a god awful game. Yeah, I mean Sawinski 2 home runs, one when they were down 6-1, and the other when they were down 14-3. So yeah, sure. He hit 2 home runs. He now has 11 on the season. 4 just in this road trip in 4 games. Tucupita Marcano, good things about him. 3 for 4 today. He got a hit in his first 3 plate appearances. Double, single. He's just continued looking pretty good. And then Josh Palacios, you got to say something about him too. I mean, he started off the game triple-double. The triple was a triple, but still a triple and a double. Palacios and Marcano have not been the problem. They weren't today.
Sure.
I mean, there were a lot of problems today, mainly on the pitching side.
Right. This is just where I have issue with that statement. And this doesn't go with Marcano. Marcano, I want to take away what you said. Marcano's looked good. Or I forget how you worded it, but Marcano's looked better than good. I mean, Marcano's actually been playing quite well, especially recently. The bat's really coming alive. Again, this is not me believing in this. This is not me saying Marcano's arrived. He's a good player. But I'm interested. I'm intrigued. And so far, he's proven himself. I mean, the guy's hitting right now. I mean, especially off of righties, for one. But I don't know, man. This whole Palacios thing's just killing me. I know you say that, but how many times do we have to watch him try to field, like just try to pick up a baseball in the outfield.
I mean, he was not good in right field today.
He's a terrible fielder.
He was fine.
Yeah, okay. I give him his props to the 2 hits today. He increased like his weighted runs created plus by like 50 points because of those 2 hits today. I know it's not a whole lot of sample. I don't really believe in him. And again, like this is more my thing about the problem. Like I understand like every individual player is not a problem, but just because they're not a problem doesn't mean you can't improve upon it. And I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole. I'm not, but like I'm not. I'll just be quiet. Like I said on Twitter. He had a good game. I'll keep
we don't have to talk very long about this game. By no means. We do not need to go into detail on much of what happened today.
I mean, okay. You want a positive?
Sure.
3 strikeouts today. That was it.
Not good for over 4.5 DeSclafani bettors.
The Rosati curse extends to the betting world.
Yeah.
I saw that tweet today. I was dying, by the way. The Rosati curse is well and alive, Jim. Everyone's recognizing it.
I don't even care anymore. Run with it.
It's not a curse. This team's just bad, first off.
Yeah, this is just a bad, awful team. I take no responsibility for any of this.
Rodolfo Castro, over 4, looked terrible in the field. Well, I'm gonna say looked terrible. He had some really good plays though as well, and some terrible plays. I don't know, man. Like everywhere, like I just feel. You know what really irks me about this? The entirety of the organization. Just no one wants to win. Like I don't see it from the players anymore. We sure as hell don't see it from the front office, the management. I don't.
Well, DiNardo, their internal projections had them as a losing team at this point. We should just be happy with how surprisingly great we're exceeding these expectations.
Exactly. I'm biting my tongue on so many things because I want to have a 3-hour rant right now.
Yeah, this was only supposed to be Vegas had them at what 67.5 wins. This was only supposed to be a 67.5 win team, DiNardo. They're way better than what people thought of them.
They're only 3 games better than the Cubs right now, by the way. For everyone trolling me about the Cubs tweet and how terrible the Cubs are, they're only 3 games better than the Cubs. So there's that. Anyways, I don't know.
I mean, it was just this was just a terrible game. I mean, Rich Hill, probably his worst outing. I mean, he got through 6 innings. He's really kind of settled in after that second, but that second inning was just really bad. He was getting hit hard, wasn't missing bats. The Giants, Rich Hill is interesting in that you need to take a certain approach against him to hit him. And what makes him good when he's on is being able to mess up hitters' timing. The Giants had a really good approach against him today. They were just peppering him, covering that outside part of the plate, going the other way. They weren't being overly aggressive. They were just kind of letting Rich Hill throw batting practice to them for the most part, instead of, getting overly aggressive. And it worked today. Like that's how you beat Rich Hill, is how the Giants kind of approached today's game. And unfortunately for the Pirates, when that happens, they showed that they don't really have the firepower to match that.
Well, not many teams have much firepower to match 14 runs, but yes. But I mean, to your point, before Bolton came in there, right? I understand it was still with the reach, but 6 runs is astronomical for the Pirates right now. One thing I want to talk about the Rich Hill, just because this is a bad start. I fully get it. And I know there's a lot of Rich Hill is terrible people out there, like this faction and whatnot. And I'm okay with the start, if that makes sense. Rich Hill is Rich Hill. When the signing happened, Rich Hill is Rich Hill. He's going to give you this. And it's I'm not putting this whole loss on Rich Hill. I guess what I'm coming at is whatever. We know he's not the greatest pitcher. He's here for other reasons, but he's also competent. And with that said, when you look at his outings, 7-run, a 5-run, and this 6-run. After that, he's only allowed more than 4 runs 4 times. He's also been really good. It's a mixed bag of balls with Rich Hill. He has these clunkers but he also gives you really, really good outings. And I feel like too many people look really closely at these bad outings and just say Rich Hill is terrible, get him off the team. But then you also recognize just a couple outings ago, 0 earned runs, 1 earned run, 4 earned run, 2, 0, 1, 2. So like, also talk about problems. I don't look at Rich Hill as a problem either. He is what he is. He's a back end starter. This rotation has been solid. These bats need to come alive. And I'm sorry, this defense is just atrocious everywhere. Every single position right now is atrocious, except for third when Hayes is there.
I'll disagree with you a little bit on this. I won't disagree with your main premise of like Rich Hill has been fine. Rich Hill has been fine. You know, if you expected more of this from Rich Hill, then you were probably being a little overly optimistic. Yeah, he's a back end starter. What he's given you over his first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11 starts now, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah,
11.
What he's given you over his first 11 starts is fine. Now, today he was bad. Awful.
Yeah.
He was awful today.
Yeah.
Like you can't like these types of starts aren't acceptable from anyone, regardless of what you do in your other outings. You can't give up 6 runs as a starting pitcher. You can't give up 5 runs in an inning and put your team out of a game, you know, in the second inning. So, I mean, it's 2 back-to-back pretty bad outings from Rich Hill. He really needs to get back to where he was before, when he did roll off, you know, a pretty consistent string of decent starts kind of from mid-April to mid-May. So he needs to get back to that. These last 2 have not been good.
That's fair. All right. Outside of that, again, there's really not a whole lot to really talk about.
No.
I just need to see more fight from this team. And like I said, that's start from the top all the way down to the bottom now. But also at the same sense, there's not a whole lot of talent there to fight with.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it. Once you kind of get down by a whole lot, it's tough to have fight in like a 10-run game. But we're now almost all the way through May, and the Pittsburgh Pirates have not won a single game that they were losing after the 6th inning. Not one single come from behind victory late in a ball game. Hasn't happened yet. Yeah. That's kind of crazy because even with like the bad Pittsburgh Pirates teams I can remember in recent history, they always showed some life, showed some fight at the end. You'd always get some walk-off winners that were like fun games to watch. We just haven't had that this year. And
we even talked about that as most recent as last year and like the year before. Like as bad as the teams were, that's kind of what we gave Shelton, like a little bit of pass and like a little bit of this team at least fights. Like they're bad. This is an atrocious team. But even the 9th inning, you're seeing them fight.
Yeah. It was one of those. I mean, we're now seeing, you know, the whole month of April. So all these stories, you know, you could see on TV, you know, this team's having fun. This team's having fun. Well, it's really fun to win baseball games. What isn't fun is losing games and getting your brains beat in. So we're now seeing the team getting punched in the mouth over and over and over again. They're not having fun, as they shouldn't be, really. But they're not really responding well to this adversity. They need more people to kind of just pick it up. Mitch Keller's kind of been the only one where I feel like he's taken the ball a few times this month after long losing streaks and just been like, we're not losing another game. And Mitch Keller's gone out there and he's won games by himself. There aren't a lot of people who have kind of been able to do that this month for the Pirates. He's been kind of the lone exception. But just starting pitching's been fine. Today was bad, and it cost him the game today.
Right. Offense has been atrocious, and still,
offense has been bad. I mean, really outside Marcano, Palacios, everything else kind of came late in the game. So those were the only 2 with showing any signs of life before the game was pretty much out of reach.
Right. You know, Jim, though, I had to say something. I feel like we are more than just like a Pirates podcast. You know, we provide more of a service than just that. Have you ever air fried burgers?
I've not. I don't use the air fryer. We've had this conversation before. I never use it.
You're right. When you do, you just put it away for months and then take it back
I
out
haven't
without
used
cleaning it.
I haven't used that air fryer in 2 years.
Not bad. Not bad. Just rule of note. If you do, don't melt the cheese in the air fryer.
Yeah, I would feel like that would be I mean, maybe if you were going to do it just for like 30 seconds.
No, not even 30
Not
seconds.
even
That
that.
cheese just
Okay.
flies off and it's all in your air fryer.
Gotcha.
I had
There you
no
go.
cheese on my burger. So just giving some people some advice if you've never done so and are thinking about it. Air fry burgers, they're good. But do the cheese somewhere else or just let it sit there and melt on its own for like 3 minutes.
You should have recorded this, and then we could have just broken this down instead of the post-game show, to be honest.
We'll have a Yinzer breakdown on air fryer burgers
on the burgers
and how to melt cheese.
Yeah. Because honestly, that sounds way more interesting than anything that I saw earlier today.
It was. And it's much more satisfying, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that provides way more positive value to yourself than watching this baseball game.
I took so much war in those burgers.
Yeah.
Than what I saw from this game. Yeah. Anyways, I feel like we should get out of here.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right, Jim. Well, for those that stayed watching, thank you. Bye.
See you guys.
I got to get out of here. Hold on. Where are we at? There it is.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.